Well, that wasn't great. Yesterday's episode is not great. We blazed through most of the Atlas stations all the time. My audio was acting weird. I have no idea what it sounds like now. Harumph. I'm tired of talking about it. Permadeath 25 hours now, almost 26 hours. A lot of that time, like one night I left my game running all night. I was asleep. I woke up, I was standing in a space station. I don't know where. So it was like maybe 6 hours of it. I don't hear anything now. Except that weird sound. I don't know what all that weirdness is. That's so bizarre. Oh, suit slot. Okay. Well, there's no, it's permadeath, so I can't reload the manual save from our home world. Oops. All the way around. So, let's get it done. Someday, you know. Someday I'm gonna do all of this again. Maybe this guy will get killed. I doubt it, but maybe. Sentinels. There's a dead guy here. This is an Atlas station. So we are at Photic Jade. It means we have not far to go. If I had been able to, I would have reloaded the manual save and started over. Just to fix the problem, you know? Because that's how I am.
Orbital station coordinates received.
Here we go. Eventually, there we go. Alright. Another Gex system. We need Gex words. I like doing my manufacturing facilities in Gex systems because I always have more Gex than anything else. I mean, you know, $10 a word. That's easy. Coming up with copper all the time, and mordite all the time. Not so much. It's funny, I think I have plenty of mordite at the base. And once we finish this, we'll have lots of cargo slots. So we will. I was gonna get suit slots and do all that, but I think that what we'll do as soon as we're done with this is go to the base so you can see it. It's almost done. It's getting there. It has to be planted for the most part, as I recall. And oh yeah, and do a loadout, a travel-in loadout, where we'll have all those things on us. We'll make some copper while we're doing that. If I can remember to throw the copper in the refiner. In case you don't know, if you have a tiny bit of copper and a bit of chromatic metal, you can just make copper with that. Just throw it in a large or a medium refiner together, and it makes copper. Lots and lots of copper. Did I get it? Thought I turned away too soon. The increasing numbers of these lights you gotta hit as you go along. It gets really, it's kind of out of hand. Yep, there's one underneath there hiding. We'll get him dancing. Want my melee jump now. I'm already I'm already pretty crazy when it comes to the melee jump. I know most of you would agree. Alright, here we go. Stay safer. Next. You know, I never look at the clock. The thing is, the sound in my headset is obviously, duh, completely different than the recorded sound. If I could gauge it just by listening to my headset, you know. Uh-oh. I've talked about this before a long time ago. The first time I dealt with one of these stations, you know, that has all the sides. I couldn't find the hole. Couldn't find the landing bay nearly to save my life. I was being chased. I was in a lot of trouble at that moment, under pressure, scared. I was cussing. I can cuss. I flew around and around. I think I was flying around the sides that don't have the landing bay. Over the top, you know. And I couldn't find it. I'm not the only one that has experienced that. I think I was freaking out though because I was being chased. And didn't want to die. Sentinels. Predators? Yeah. Yeah, I'll kill predators. A couple at a time. Minerals! Woohoo! I like the easy ones. More Gex that I gotta come back to. Alarming. What is it? Oh, it doesn't say the name. Does it say alarming encounters or something like that?
Orbital station coordinates received.
Well, thank you. Now turn me all the way back around, so it's difficult. I guess I gotta get a wireless mouse. along with a program that's designed to record like this. The Xbox DVR is not, I don't think it's designed for all this work. And it is the root cause of all my troubles. It comes with Microsoft Windows 10. It's free. And that's why I have it. If I didn't, I'd probably have to use the YouTube streaming program. But MCK, I asked MCK what to use, and he said use Shadowplay, I think it's called. So I got to get that downloaded and learn how to use it. And when we get to a point that it makes sense for me to change over to that, then I'll do that. Oh my God, the words. Last journey milestone for words. Babblefish. It's pretty cool that you can get, well, I mean, the two biggest milestones in language are the last two. You get those just doing the atlas. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's as safe as can be in here. You can't be attacked. There's nothing dangerous. Unless you're crazy like me and you glitch yourself on the other side of the wall. Also, you can go with the last stage, the last interface. You can go too fast and mess up the program. That goes back to what I said at the very beginning. The biggest problem that people have, or the cause of the problems that most people have, is going too fast. And I don't mean the movement of the character, although that can get you killed in permadeath. What I mean is not giving the game time to change from one part of a mission to another. You know, you gotta give it time. I think I got them all. There's so many. I give it more time than it needs, but or at least I do on these two series. But the reason for that is just to show that's the sound we were hearing in the space station. How weird. I guess that's where the sound artifact came from. Came from the Atlas. Anyway, if you are rushing through from one stage to the next of the same mission, oops, wrong button. It can appear as though the game isn't progressing or it's stuck, and sometimes you can actually stick the game, and that sucks. Where's the space station? Sucks because then you end up on a forum saying things like, I'm playing this game for 15 minutes and it's broken. I always laugh when people post things like that because, I mean, give it more time. You gotta be, you know, with games like this and this one, you gotta be adventurous. Hit those buttons, see what those menus do. Don't think that the very first time you play the game is a save you're gonna keep, because it's not advisable. I think it's better to play the game through for, you know, hour or so and make all the mistakes and then delete that save and start over. getting expensive. Up. Well. Hi, Gex. I'll be back. Be back later. Something else. He's got like. It looks like. He looks like he has a big old honker. He's a funny looking Gex. Hi, Dicka. We'll be back to talk to you later. Where's the car? I've said this before. I don't know if I'm ever going to do the here's how to play run through. I don't know how I feel about those. Because part of the problem is that Hello Games keeps updating our game, and then we have to do a new run through. That's part of the problem. I never played the vanilla version, or I don't have any fuel, or you know, Pathfinder or Atlas Rises. I started playing it at Next, and so as a result, there were things that I knew how to do that people who had been playing the game for a long time didn't know how to do, because Next rewrote the universe and they had to learn all over again. And you watch some of those playthroughs, you know, tutorials is the word I'm looking for, from right after Next, from veteran players, and it's like, no, man, that's the hard way to do it. Next is easier. I mean, granted, you don't wake up right next to your ship anymore, but you know, it's not a terrible distance. And then I saw a couple of tutorials that came out after Visions, and it's like, what did Visions change? Well, the main thing that it changed as far as a tutorial goes is that as soon as you set down the first base part at the beginning of the game changes missions on you, and you're no longer doing Awakens, you're doing base computer, or expanding the base is what it's called at that point. And so to watch, you know, people who have been playing the game a long time struggle with the same thing that new players are struggling with, you know. I'm in a Viking system. I have my overseer. I can't get the scientist because he's in another system. And, you know, I've had questions like, can I just pulse to the next system? Well, no. There's no actual space in between. It's not real space, you know. It's a loading screen, and you know, it's complicated. But I cannot tell you how many times I've typed the words, go into your log and change your mission back to Awakenings since Visions came out. And I think that's just, I think it's an oversight on Hello Games' part. They sure cannot have meant to create all of that confusion. You know, I mean, if you're going to make it so you want people to do expanding the base before they get the warp drive, then you need to provide all of the employees in the first space station. And that's just not there. It wouldn't be normal, you know. I've occasionally seen Viking, Gek, and Korvax all in the bar together. But not, you know, both of the Geks and both of the Vikings that you need. And besides that, you can't do farming without a hyperdrive. I mean, you can go to a trading post and buy everything, but I don't think that's the point of the game. Alright, where are we at? Okay, very cool. Sailing right on through. But as far as me doing an actual tutorial, I don't know. They'd have to make a major change to the game that would affect this solo play part. I'm not qualified to talk about multiplayer, and I would never presume to tell people. I know a couple of things about multiplayer. As far as they affect gameplay, I know that starting a game together with your friend in multiplayer is not a good idea. Glitches. You need to start your own games and then join each other. You can start a game on someone else's established save. That's perfectly fine. And apparently a really cool way to start in a different galaxy. But as far as, you know, multiplayer play and what you do in multiplayer, I have no idea. I don't really understand. It seems kind of pointless. It's not pointless, but it's not mission oriented as far as I can tell. The freighter missions seem to be glitched for the most part. The missions that you get from the bridge of your freighter. A lot of people have problems with that on PC. Hello. I need a job. Are you hiring predators for 247 nanites? I will kill 10 predators for 247 nanites. Moving along. It's so funny, I always turn to the left when I leave a space station. It's like a habit. Oh boy. Alright. Viking. All these one planet systems. Yay. I remember seeing the main big streams from the day that Next dropped. You know, how everyone was trying to figure out, you know, what to do. And, you know, the names of everything changed. They had to learn a whole new vocabulary. Boy. There's parts of those streams where you're just like, oh God, what a nightmare for you. I'm so glad that I didn't get the game before Next. And the reason is personally me. I'm not good with change like that. When the boss comes in and says, you know, we're going to change the way we do our sales program, I just go, oh no. My brain fights it tooth and nail. So I would have been probably really freaking out, you know. Like, how do I get Thamium? Where is it? What do I do? What do you mean iron won't do everything it used to do? I would have been a mess, honestly. I would have, yeah. I remember the funniest one was the thing is when you're recording or you're streaming, it's very difficult to pay attention to much more else than the words coming out of your mouth and the actual movement of your character. It takes a lot of effort. So watching Stevie GB game mode and that group doing the day the next dropped. And Steve is like, I don't have any launch fuel. And on the screen, because you're just watching, you know, you're not trying to concentrate on 15 different things. But on the screen, every time he brings up the launch thrusters, you can see it right there. It says it right under the launch thrusters. This is where your fuel is. This is what you need to get. Yeah, when he obviously he figured it out, but but just watching that interaction was so difficult. I put myself in other people's shoes. There's the Heart of the Sun. Next one is the last one. But I sympathize, and you know, I put myself in their shoes, and it's like, God Almighty, I'd have been freaking out. So if there's a big change to the way that solo play operates, then I will learn how to do it and, you know, do a short tutorial. But I think it's actually, you know, it's more helpful to just play the game and, you know, to, you know, make that available for new people to just watch. You know, if you watch it being played, you know, you see things done successfully, then it's comforting in a way, you know. I think it makes it easier to play. And I definitely watched this game being played for a long time before I played the game. For one thing, I've been watching the game since Atlas Rises, and for one thing, I couldn't afford the game. I didn't have a computer that could do it, and I didn't have the money for it. So once I did, I bought it, and that was, I think, I have to look at Steam. All of my gameplay is on Steam, so I have to look at it, but I think it was like August 10th or August 14th, maybe. And Next came out on July 24th of 2018, so it was a couple of weeks later when I got the game. Hi, dead guy. I'll be back for you. I think we're a bit over time here, but I want to complete this because it's only one to go. Oops. Oops. Wrong button.
Orbital station coordinates received.
Okay. Up. And I don't think you necessarily have to know every single thing to do a tutorial. we were talking about this a bit last night on Sword Stream, how we are all learning stuff all the time. You know, for instance, I never looked, and so therefore didn't know that gold refines to pyrite. If I had known that, I probably never would have paid for pyrite. Gold abounds in the universe. And it's a lot easier to get than pyrite. It's a straight one-to-one conversion. It's not like a, it's not like a savings thing at all. But pyrite is a savings thing. Not only does it take less space in your suit, it takes less pyrite. So while you still need tritium, you don't need it to fuel your engine. It takes 200 tritium to fuel your pulse engine. It takes 40 pyrite. So obviously you can carry a lot more full loads, Well, quite what how I'm trying to say that. Oops. Gotta give it time. So, use tritium right at first, unless you happen to be spawned on a desert planet, in which case you can get pyrite out of, probably half the rocks have pyrite in them. But that's just an example of something that I've been using for a long time, and I didn't know it had this other quality. I knew that pyrite made ferrite, but didn't know that gold refined. Here it is. Birth a new star. I never have the stuff on me to make a starseed. There's our star. Let's call it, I don't know. Robert the Star. Happy birthday, Robert the Star. Let's go home. And when we come back tomorrow, because this really ran long, when we come back tomorrow, we will change our loadout for travel and harvest what we have in the farm, do a farm tour, and make some circuit boards, because I think I have the stuff stored up to make circuit boards. Oh, there's an anomalous planet. When I come back to this station, I will be going to that anomalous planet. They seem kind of rare, in Permadeath. Like in normal mode, almost all of our zoologies are anomalous planets. Not on this guy. In fact, we have probably very little zoology done. Oh, we have all of them. I'm not paying attention, am I? So that little planet will be the last one. I know I've spent a lot of time completing zoologies. Alright. Atlas, mischief managed. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.